Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are approaching Jupiter. We are not yet in orbit with the Assaracus 1. Our intended mission to land on Ganymede is our current target. Let's jump out here to the map view and show you what I have kind of plotted out. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole lot of zooming in. That's our first flyby. Anyway, here we are. Here is our approach to Jupiter, where we are going to burn for, oh really, only 400 some odd meters per second? That seems odd. I thought it was like 1500. Oh, don't screw with me now, KSP. Anyway, yeah, I guess 435 meters per second in 5 days is going to put us in this highly elliptical orbit. We're going to burn here to raise our periapsis up to the near the orbit of Ganymede. Then we're going to make an inclination change out here, and then we're going to make a very small correction to give us our very first flyby, and perform a gravity assist brake, which is going to result in this final orbit here. I mean, this is all, hopefully. We will probably actually be lighting our engines during this approach just to accentuate that gravity assist. I don't think we'll get captured right away. It might take, considering we're going from this orbit to this orbit with a single unpowered flyby, it probably will take us 4 or 5 flybys to lower our orbit enough where we can start to think about making a capture burn. But we do have just a metric ton of fuel. That's just in our transfer capture maneuvering stage, 4,358 meters per second. We probably got about another 1.8 kilometers per second in the lander itself. But I don't know. Here we are. Yeah, radio in. We have all that set up. Our dish is powered. I've pretty much been ignoring this craft since we launched it. This is the relaunch. Of course, the original got diverted by the magic of KSP. But we got about 5 days to kill before we have to make this burn. So let's just go ahead and warp on in and get this show on the road. Alright, just a quick check about 2 hours out, make sure our engine is active. Fantastic, RCS is on, SAS is on. There's Jupiter looking absolutely fantastic today. It's been a long time since we've been out this way. It's nice to be back. Alright, we'll get ourselves pointed in here at the node. Just get ourselves ready for this burn. Alright, and of course it's not going to tell us how long it's going to take, but I'm going to assume many minutes. Our TWR is terrible. We do have multiple ignitions on this AJ-10. Tell me I didn't make that mistake again. Okay, good. Ullage. We green? We are green. Ignition. Yeah, looks like I'm going to be a little ahead of the curve. I didn't think that was only going to take 4 minutes, but yeah, it is only 400 some odd meters per second, so I guess no qualms there. Wonder if there's any experiments on this thing we haven't run. But Jupiter's equatorial bands is a very common biome. Now we're gonna save our runs. We've just had so many things orbit Jupiter with pretty much this same scientific loadout. I don't think we really stand to profit much, and you don't want to shoot lasers at your primary fuel tank at the moment. But we do have a contract to science things from space around Ganymede and science things from the surface of Ganymede. Thankfully, we have a good long while to complete said contract. Otherwise, we'd be going for a more brute forcey solution rather than our multiple gravity assist. Just a quick check out here at the map view and a interruption from Kerbal alarm clock. For some reason, it will only let me go into 3 times physical time warp instead of 4, which is weird. no real explanation of that other than maybe KSP had been running for too long. But we're coming up on capture. There it is. And we'll just slowly get that as close to our next maneuver node as possible. But of course it is going to take some recalibrating because, you know, flying by hand you just always kind of have these errors. So we're going to make some touch-up corrections here on RCS, change to the next node, and then take another look. And yeah, sure enough, our rendezvous is kind of gone. So we'll just go through and tweak these nodes ever so slightly until we get it back. There we go. And not as much braking or gravity assisting as I would like, but it does look like a collision course. Unfortunately, even very, very small touches on that very last maneuver node result in some very weird results. And that looks like it's coming in on the wrong side. There we go. And that is much, much better. Alright, well, we will just set up an alarm clock here. Maneuver node, 171 days. Not bad, but we'll be back to play with him soon. It's going to be a long, long mission. We're talking probably a couple more years before we're ready to capture around Ganymede and then make our attempt at a landing. Maybe even more than one. I don't know. Let's not get too hopeful here. We can't just enjoy the view. Anyway, on to some other new things. Well, in other logistical endeavors today, we are stopping by very quickly the Rosalina Memorial Station. Out on the surface of the moon, they have a full complement of science generated from the data left over, and they need to transfer it home, and also they have emptied their resupply pod, landed very close, that needs to be disposed of for frame rate reasons. So as soon as this transmission is complete and we acknowledge that it is all received by home base, we will get our local engineer out to unhook these plumbing pipes and set that resupply pod free, and then we can dispose of it through high velocity compaction. Yeah, sure. Sorry, it's early. Bingo. That's done. Alright, now where is our lovely engineer, I wonder? Hatch? That's Val. Or Douglas. EVA. Please no explosions. Very good. Let's take a quick save while we still can, just to make sure nothing goes crazy. Alright. And then we'll have Laura dance her way across the moon. Headlights finally working. I think that's the first time I've ever been able to actually hit the L key and have something actually happen. Way to go, KSP. Unlink. Oh! Yeah, don't touch the landing legs. Ever, ever, ever. Oh boy. Unlink. Kathunk. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that, I assume. Alright, let's open up your inventory. Equip that drill. Just to make sure we can, we're going to root part. What? Well, that's very interesting. How did that become a root part? Can we take this one? Yes. Fantastic. Alright. And let's get you to a, well, we should probably relink this lander to make sure that it doesn't fall through the surface and explode. It is, we need it to operate. Think, will it stretch? No, it will not stretch. Well, that's a bummer. We can just hit escape to cancel that, right? Okay, good. Alright, well, let's get you in the observation module. Gently. Alright, and there's the disposal unit. There's a flag. There's a bunch of debris that's falling through the surface. A landing leg. Oh boy. Wow. The hop. I don't quite understand, but okay. Alright. And we can probably track your 2 landing legs that are being silly. Tracked. No? I'm not gonna... Come on now. No resources, huh? None at all? Control from here? Tracked. RCS on. Stability control on. Ullage. Ignition? Wow, we are off kilter. Oh yeah, 2 landing legs that don't want to work. The shadowing is definitely interesting. Alright, let's get this back on course a little bit. Rotate it around so that our lean goes the other way. Still another 400 meters per second. I put way too much fuel in this thing. Out of render range, thankfully. Oh, it runs so much better now. We probably could have popped those landing legs off, actually, and enjoyed a much better result. Alright, so we'll just, we'll go for broke on this burn. Get this thing good and far away. Ignition. Ah, yes. The wibbly wobbles. And there's flame out. We're gonna get up to 64 kilometers. That should be a very nice impact. We'll go ahead and arrest the spin using magic and enjoy the view. Yeah, littering and... It looks like a clean destruction. Perfect. Littering and... moon colonization. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So, until then, see you later.